What's up, everybody? Um, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and give you my personal experience on fasted training versus fed training. Because for most of my workout life, I did fed training, and you know, it. I'm not gonna knock it too bad. I did it for a long time, and it worked to an extent. And I know a lot of people that still do it, but I gotta tell you, fasted training, if you want to actually feel the best you can fitness wise, fasted training is really where you want to go. Fed training is kind of like here, fasted training is kind of like here. uh, you know I've been, anybody who knows me knows I've been into fitness since I was freaking 11. And even before I got my first set of weights, I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, whatever the case, and going from that little chubby kid to that, lean teenager, whatever, whatever. Then I wanted to get big, and then it's all there were stages, but in all of it, I always would make a habit of having a big good meal about 2 hours before I wanted to lift, and it would work, but I didn't know the hormonal advantages to having to being in a fasted state. I was always taught, because I got into muscle magazines, I got into all of this other stuff, and I would listen to people who had done it before me, and everybody said, "Hey, make sure you got something in your stomach before you go in that gym. Make sure you got something in your stomach, because you're wasting your time if you don't. You're wasting a workout if you train on an empty stomach. Maybe do cardio on an empty stomach, but if you're gonna lift, make sure you got something in that stomach." And that's what I followed for a long time. But I'm gonna tell you, I never felt as good as I do now doing fasted training. Fasted training is where it's at, whether it's strength training, whether it's cardio. Fasted training is where it's at. I remember I began to do fasted training more habitually, let's say around 2016. Began to do it more, yeah, 2016 I did it more habitually. And you know what? I'm thinking now, but now let's backtrack. Before I started this with the intermittent fasting and everything like that, before I started this, in my mind, and this is where conditioning comes in. This is where you got this paradigm and this way of thinking where hey, if I'm gonna atrophy if I don't eat. Or people, you see people who are fitness buffs, they eat all the time. They're eating every 2 3 hours because they got to keep their uh, they keep their metabolism going. They got to keep building muscle. And to me, that's just like you're putting yourself through in bondage to food and to a set schedule of meal prep and eating and all of that. You're not giving your body a break from digestion so that you can go through the restorative processes that your body really wants to go through, the healing processes with the heightened HGH, the heightened testosterone, all that good stuff, right? Luteinizing hormone. You're not getting any of that because you're constantly bombarding your body with food. So that was kind of what I did. Only I would have big meals. I wouldn't have small meals, and I would have big meals because I wanted to be a big dude, So I would have big meals and thinking, okay, man, I gotta lift hard and blah blah blah. But now these days I feel better than I've ever felt back then as a teenager, when I was in my 20s, even in my early 30s. I felt better than I ever did I feel better right now than I ever did at those times with fasted training, because there were things I didn't realize, with fasted training as opposed to fed training. I didn't realize that after you lift, protein synthesis, still goes on for like 24 hours after you finish lifting. So I don't care if you're lifting at freaking 5 o'clock in the morning and you don't eat until 6 p.m. in the afternoon, your muscles are still being fed. your muscles are still highly receptive to those nutrients after you work out in that 6 a.m. because you got a 24-hour period before protein synthesis stops, right? So yeah, I didn't realize all of this. You know, I'm just thinking food, calories, muscle, and that's a simple way to look at it, but it's a little bit more complex than that. Now, for me, I would rather have a more positive hormonal profile than to just have hella calories and be carrying around some bloat. I'd rather have a higher HGH level. I'd rather have a heightened testosterone level. I'd rather have all of these things than to just have calories and be able to build a whole lot of muscle. I've been in the situation before when I was big and I was 200 plus pounds and yeah, it was good. I was walking around like Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever, but my fitness level overall suffered because of it. I didn't have the cardio fitness that I should have had, that I have now. So fasted training, in my own personal opinion, is definitely a step up. And yeah, I would try it out, man. You're not gonna lose muscle. You're not gonna atrophy. And I'm not talking about those of you out there who do intermittent fasting, because I'm sure you know this already. I'm talking about those who may not do it, those outliers who may not do it, and who may not get into the fasted training because of the reasons I just mentioned. So give it a try, man. Even if it's just for like 2 weeks. I was gonna say 30 days, but even if it's 2 weeks, give it a try. See how you feel. I feel great. I feel I got more energy. And you know what? What I also like is the whole concept of nutrient partitioning. Because when you're going the day without food, when you're working out, and then from a workout you go back and do whatever work you're doing, you're going about your day, and then you have dinner, you have that meal. Every cell in your body is ready and receptive for that meal because you haven't eaten in like 20 hours. I'm not telling you guys to go 20 hours without eating. I mean, that's not something I started with, but I'm just saying what's possible if you do. I mean, even if you do a 16 or 17 hour stretch, yeah, I believe that you will still enjoy the benefits of nutrient partitioning, where your cells are kind of like, after a stretch with no food, your cells are kind of like, gimme, 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 gimme. Your muscles are like, gimme, 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 gimme. So it uptakes the nutrients more thoroughly than it would if you were eating all day long and your cells are really not that hungry because you've been feeding them since you woke up. That's all I'm trying to say. So yeah, try it out, see how you like it. It may or may not be for everybody. I personally had nothing but positive experiences with it. You might too. So check it out. And I'll be back with more.